Welcome to the CatchMark Community Local Musician Spotlight. I'm your host, Amy Yonkman, and each episode will bring you stories, inspirations, and journeys of the amazing local musicians shaping our community. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Dave Burel. He's a local White Lake singer and guitar player. We're going to dive into his musical journey, some of his influences, what keeps him creative both on and off the stage. Let's get started out. So I'm going to kind of make you introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a little bit about you right from yourself. So tell us a little about Dave Burel.
Okay. I was born in this area, born in Shelby, and lived in the Montague and Whitehall area until about 20 years ago. Kids grew up here, started my musical career here. In 1964, I got my first guitar.
Oh, yeah?
When I was 11 years old. And that's what started my musical career, heavily influenced by the Beatles. That's what got me going.
Well, I mean, who didn't they influence, right? Like, so what did you get that guitar for? Was it just a kind of was it a Christmas?
Present.
Yeah, I figured out. It's kind of seems like a good Christmas present.
There's some neighborhood kids and myself that we were all hot on the Beatles because they came out, of course, in 64.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a lot of fake wooden guitars with elastic strings on them.
Yeah.
And learned the songs and did a lot of singing. So I was actually a singer before I was a guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Did you take lessons to learn to play, or were you self-taught?
I am self-taught.
Yeah?
Over the years, I've had a few odd lessons here and there, but mostly self-taught.
Yeah.
And what I've learned from dozens of amazing musicians that I've played with, you feed off each other.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So how many guitars do you think you have had throughout all of the years that you've been playing?
Oh, gosh, probably 50.
Yeah?
Yes.
How many do you currently have?
24.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
I do. I have a 10-year-old Fender Stratocaster, which is this color.
Yeah?
And her name is Surfer Girl. That's my main guitar.
I love that. So what was that defining moment? Was it the Beatles, or was there another moment that kind of really made you really want to go out in the area, play for audiences, that kind of thing? Was there a defining moment, or did it just naturally kind of happen?
It kind of naturally occurred, a number of different events. I played with some local guys from my neighborhood and got to know more musicians. And when I got into high school, we formed a band, and that band was called the Zircons, and that morphed into another band called Ben Flanders Memorial Band, which was, I think, probably my sophomore and junior year. And that was a lot of fun. We played in the local Battle of the Bands in Muskegon, and I think we were second place, if I remember right, in 1970s.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Was there any sort of prize for that, or just kind of the win?
A little trophy.
Yeah? You still have it?
No, I do not have it anymore. I wish I did.
That would be great. So what are some of your musical influences besides the Beatles? Who else are you?
The whole British invasion thing was what got me started. Mm-hmm. The Who, the Rolling Stones, Jerry and the Pacemakers. The Animals. I could name dozens of bands. And then as things progressed through the years, Jimi Hendrix came out, and Led Zeppelin, and those were all my early influences that kept me going, into my 20s.
Yeah. What's your kind of process for what you're going to play when you're out and about? Do you kind of feel the venue? Do you just play what you're comfortable playing? Do you take requests? How do you pick what songs you're going to be playing?
Okay. I do a couple of different types of acts. One act, and it's about 50-50 between the two of them in gigs. One of them is I sit on a stool with an acoustic guitar and sing songs. Mm-hmm. And the other one is I play backing tracks that don't have any vocals or guitars on them. They just have drums, bass, maybe some keyboards on them. And I play along with those. Mm-hmm. So my approach is a little bit different for each one. With the backing tracks and the electric guitar, I tend to write sets so that I have a formula to go through. Mm-hmm. With the acoustic, it's more just kind of winging it and watching the
Yeah,
audience.
you can with that a little bit. It's a little bit more open, I guess, for
Yes.
that. Yeah, I would say so. Which one gets more kind of a rise out of the audience? Up maybe if it's a place where you can get up and dance. Which one are which way are they kind of doing
The
that?
electric with tracks tends to be a little more rowdier, if you
Yeah.
will. It's louder.
Yep.
I'm
It
I'm
makes
kind of
sense.
known for being loud anyway.
Yeah.
It's a bad
No, it's not
bad
bad.
thing. I'm known in some circles as Dave Burel. So,
We'll get to that audience too. We'll
okay.
So outside of playing music, what are you enjoying when you're not playing at a place?
I enjoy playing golf. I play a lot of golf. I belong to one of the local courses here, White Lake, and my wife and I go to Florida for a couple months every year.
That's always a good place to go. Enjoy that weather. I'm assuming it's that winter. You're down there in the winter then. Usually,
Yes,
yeah,
we usually go in March and April.
yeah.
So I take a little time off from playing. Mm-hmm. I could play down there, but I've chose not to at this
Well,
time.
yeah, you need some time
some
off
rest.
too. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what Florida's for, right?
Right.
So, what are some of your memorable performances? I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. You were in those several bands throughout school, and then it's kind of evolved. So, what's memorable from all of that time?
Well, I got pretty strong memories of that Battle of the Bands the Muskegon Jaycees put on every year back in the late 60s and early 70s. Those were held at what was then called, I don't know if it still is or not, the Walker Arena Annex, which is
Oh,
next
yeah.
to, yeah,
Yep. I don't.
next to the
They've changed names so many
whatever
times.
they're calling it now.
Whatever it is now.
Yes, I don't recall. A lot of memories of that. Of course, when you're in high school, the memories are pretty strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Then later in life, I think it was in the year 2000, I was playing in a band called 3D, and we played Summer Celebration as an opening act for Peter Frampton. So
Oh my gosh,
that
I
was pretty memorable.
probably saw you. I used to go all the time. My dad worked at Sappy, and so we had passes
Okay.
from him working at the paper mill. And I mean, gosh, we went every single year. So that was what a great thing we had in Muskegon down there. But yeah. So what are some of your favorite venues, if you can even choose? I'm sure there's pieces of all of them that are great, but in the White Lake area, where do you really enjoy going to
Well, I
play?
played several around town. I play at the White Lake Eagles quite often, and Jimmy's Pub. I've just begun to play at Big Shots.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you play there now
And,
too.
Where else do I play locally? I play at the Full Moon
Oh, yeah.
in Dalton, and those are some of the local ones that I play at. And
Do you
there's
have
a number of other ones in Muskegon and Grand Haven and north of here as well?
Yeah, and people can kind of email you to book. That's kind of how you book usually, right? Is people email you or probably message you or
Yes,
is
I
that-
keep a Facebook page, Dave Burel Live Music. I always have my schedule out there and phone number, email information.
Yeah,
I'm easy to contact.
yeah. So there you go, people. If you want to get Dave on, that's how you get him. Go to his Facebook and see what he's already got booked, and go see him or book him for your place.
Thank you.
So, what do you think about the local music scene in the White Lake area? I mean, that's kind of a general question, but what are your thoughts on it? I'm sure you guys all seems everybody kind of supports each other a lot. You go see each other at different places, and so what do you think about our scene?
It's really unique. The White Lake area is. I know dozens of musicians around here. I won't even begin to name names because I know most all of them, and we do feed off each other. We help each other. We learn from each other. We come and see each other. It's really a brotherhood and a sisterhood too.
Yeah, the
because there
support
are-
there is
yeah.
you can really see it when you go around, and you go and there's just you recognize people, or you guys maybe somebody's playing first and then you're second, and there's always that person that stays to watch the next person. You don't just pack up and walk out.
Yes. And over the 50 years that I've been playing, it's always been that way in the White Lake area. The music support, the crowds have been good. The people support us. The musicians support each other. It's it's like that in other areas to a degree, but not like the White Lake area.
Yeah,
It's special.
It is. We live in a special area. So what is some advice that you have for aspiring musicians? I mean, you kind of seem like you kind of just you knew what you wanted to do it. I mean, you were making stuff out of whatever you could find to make guitars out of, and I mean that's kind of what somebody could do. But like, I mean, just what's your advice as they want to just play the local music scene?
Uh, Learn your instrument and learn how to sing. Learn how to sing harmony. Seek out advice from others. Talk to the local musicians. Attend open mics. All those things.
Yeah. So, do you like collaborating with others when you play? Do you
No,
ever
I
do
don't
that?
do much anymore. I do enjoy it a lot. I played in a lot of bands and duos and trios over the years. The last probably 12 to 15 years, I've done all solo stuff just kind of out of necessity, and it's gotten where I don't do a collaboration anymore with people, and I miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably, I mean, it gets kind of hard, I think, with schedules and stuff too. Sometimes I assume it's just, when people move or, like you go to Florida sometimes, if somebody wanted to kind of collaborate with you during March and April, that wouldn't be possible, So you're on your time off,
Yeah.
So looking ahead at, shows you have coming up or your plans for the next 5 years, maybe, do you see yourself still doing this in 5 years?
Well,
Or-
frankly, I'm surprised I'm still doing it
Yeah.
now.
So you're not stopping
So
essentially,
I'm
right?
not stopping. No. Every once in a while, I get the idea that I want to cut back and slow down, but it just never seems to work that way. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
And it's what I've done. I've had some breaks, spells where I didn't play because of my career, outside of music.
Yeah.
But it's just something I can't get away from.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part of it all? I mean, I feel like there could be so many that, the audience, the venue, just doing it. I mean, what's your favorite part? Preparing or
I enjoy the feedback that you receive when you know that the audience is enjoying what you're doing for them. That's the biggest thing of all.
So what's everybody's favorite song you think that you play? What gets everybody?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. One of the songs that really works for me electrically. People seem to like Tom Petty. I do a fair amount of Tom Petty songs.
Good sing along.
Yeah, and they like American Girl a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big song.
Yeah.
And acoustically, it's kind of a different act. Then you get into songs like Wagon Wheel and stuff like that. Especially the young kids like some of those.
Yeah. So did you have any family that kind of played music, or did it just kind of come to you, when you were a kid, using that imagination of yours to build your guitars? A lot of people have that influence in family. Did you have that, or was it just you that kind of, the Beatles did it for you?
Yeah, it was
that?
That and the neighbor kids that I played with. I didn't really have any family that was involved with music, so I didn't have any influences in that way.
And then you said you weren't in like band or anything like that in school, so there wasn't
did
like
not
a
play in
teacher
band.
or
I kind of wish I had. I wish I
yeah.
had
I'm
learned.
surprised they didn't snap you up or something when they knew you were kind of in a band, but maybe you were too cool for, you were in your bands. And...
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I wish I had learned another instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to play guitar and bass guitar, and I dabble in piano, and I play the harmonica, but it would have been nice to know how to play like a saxophone or something.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
It always looks kind of cool playing those. Like you can do this, like backup movements. So what are some shows that you have coming up? Some places. So just so our listeners know, this is a recorded podcast. So Dave's got to now think ahead, and I'm putting him on the spot for late October, November shows.
Again, the White Lake Eagles is one that I play often, and Jimmy's Pub, and Big Shots Bar, and I I play at Hesperia at Hightower once a month.
Oh, yeah.
And the Full Moon in Dalton. And that's mostly it locally.
No, those are all great places. I'm sure
Yes.
you get, I mean, there's, especially the Eagles, there's all those kind of same people that come. But, in this area, I think everybody, goes out all the time. This is a great time of year. And we've gotten our extended summer, kind of, as I call it right now. I don't know if it'll last through October because you think of last October, we had a snowstorm. So, we never know in Michigan what's going to come up. So, you did mention you have a Facebook. Do you have any other a website or any other pages anybody can find you at?
I do not have a website, not an internet presence other than Facebook.
Okay, what was the Facebook name again?
Dave Burel Live Music.
All right, that's pretty easy to remember. So, everybody, you should go like Dave Burel Live Music on Facebook. Make sure you keep up with where he will be playing locally. Thanks so much for joining me today, Dave.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you more and about your musical journey. For our listeners, be sure to check out Dave's music schedule and get a chance to see him in action. Stay tuned for more inspirational stories for our local music scene. And as always, keep supporting your local musicians. I'm Amy Yonkman, and this has been the Local Musician Spotlight. See you next time.